Have you ever driven past one of those beat up apartment buildings and think, geez, somebody should really do something with that place? Well, that was me, except I actually did it. My first multifamily deal was a 12-unit property with squatters, busted water mains, and damn near every unit vacant, and barely any rent coming in. Most investors ignored it. I locked it down, fixed it up, and within 9 months, I doubled its value and had it throwing off a positive cash flow of $2,500 a month, with none of my own money left in the deal. Let me show you exactly how I did it and the lessons that I've learned that'll save you a ton of mistakes on your first deal. Hey everyone, I'm Paul Macaluso, the Multifamily Renegade. Over the past 9 years, I've built my multifamily portfolio from the ground up with no partners, no inheritance, and no handouts. I did it by using a strategy that allows me to buy free apartment buildings. The first deal that I'm about to show you was the turning point for me. It proved that this strategy actually works, and it completely changed my perspective on real estate, wealth, and what's actually possible when you follow the right path. In this video, I'm going to break down how I found the deal, how I got 100% of the purchase price funded, the way that I managed renovations, raised the rents, and stabilized it fast, and how I pulled out all of my cash and kept the cash flow coming in. If you're serious about doing your first multifamily deal the right way, I've got something special for you at the end of this video, so stick around. All right, guys, let's get into it. Part one is how I found the deal. So how did I find the deal? It was simple. It was sitting on some little obscure website that barely anyone checked. It wasn't on LoopNet, wasn't on the MLS, just some little random website with no traffic. And you actually had to pay to be a member of this site. It had been sitting there for months, no bites. The reason was very simple. The agent didn't know what they were doing with the property. There was no rent roll, no photos, no financials, just, a 12 unit needs some work. Trust me, it did. When I walked it, here's what I saw. Only 2 of the 12 units were actually occupied. There was a shit ton of active water leaks. There was actually some squatters there, broken windows everywhere. Tenants were just blatantly violating their lease terms out in the open, and there was no management system in place. But here's the thing. I wasn't scared off by this, and this is exactly the kind of deal that I had been preparing for. It was part of my investment plan from day one. Find a mismanaged, under-rented building in a good area with upside. I did my underwriting. I looked at the market rents. I reviewed the rent growth for the area, what the in-migration and employment trends were, dug into the neighborhood and checked out the demographics of the neighborhood, looked at some of the comps. There was really no surprises. Only surprise? Well, that was pretty simple. This was a probate sale, and I didn't have any experience with probate. So I found out the day before court that I'd have to potentially compete with other bidders. Now, I didn't love that at all, but I had safeguards in my contract and I was ready to move quickly. So a lesson for you guys to remember here is if you know your numbers and have a plan, uncertainty doesn't shake you at all. All right, so the second thing that I actually had to do in this journey was fund the deal. Let's talk money. I didn't use a bank. I didn't partner up with anyone. I used 100% hard money loan, 0 down on the purchase price. Now, did I pay fees? Absolutely. I paid 6% in origination costs for that loan and 12% interest. And I had about $70,000 of my own cash tied up in the renovations and CapEx. But the point is this. Hard money worked because I had a deal that made sense for that type of lending. It had enough margin to support the debt and allow me to exit clean with equity and keep cash flow coming in. My plan from the beginning was clear. Buy with hard money, renovate as quickly as humanly possible, refinance into a lower rate loan once the building was stabilized, and then just rinse and repeat. The biggest lesson here is don't cheap out in areas that actually matter. I tried saving some money in a few renovation areas, and it ended up costing me more to fix it later on. Still, funding wasn't my barrier. The real challenge is finding a deal good enough to justify the type of funding that you're going to be using. All right, guys, part 3 to this process is renovation and stabilization. Now, here's where the real work kicked in. 10 out of the 12 units were vacant, and 2 of them were in just completely awful shape. But I had experience flipping homes, so I wasn't new to managing trades or creating renovation budgets. I set a $100,000 renovation budget and focused on one question. Now, you guys want to write this down. Will this renovation increase rent in a way that pays for itself in 12 months or less? If the answer was yes, I did it. If it was no, I skipped it. I didn't over-improve the property. I made strategic upgrades that raised the perceived value and were allowing me to bump rents. Look, there was no major horror stories during the renovation either. Why? Because I was prepared. I had workers lined up, I managed the process, and I kept a tight control over the scope of work. Once units were ready, I self-managed everything. I kept rent slightly below market to lease up quickly, and that decision helped me fill the building in less than 4 months. So the second lesson I want you guys to remember here is your renovation strategy needs to be tied to rent growth, not your ego. So the last thing I did was cashed out. So here's where things really get fun. 5 months in, I did my first refinance. Hard money out, bridge money in. That gave me back all of my capital plus some, and it actually lowered my monthly payment. Then, 3 months later, I did my second refinance. This time it was into a traditional bank loan with a better rate and a longer term. This actually improved my cash flow again, allowing me to net more monthly. I waited just long enough to avoid the prepayment penalty on the bridge loan, and smart timing saved me thousands. After it was all said and done, the property had doubled in value, I had double my money back, and I was clearing $2,500 positive a month in cash flow. Now, I call that an infinite return in buying an apartment building for free. And that's exactly what this strategy is designed to create. So your guys' third lesson to remember here is the value isn't in buying a property cheap, it's in buying it right and executing your plan. Now, what did this deal teach me? This whole game is learnable. You don't need to be rich, you don't need a partner, you don't need a miracle. What you do need is education, a proven system to follow, and the guts to take action and implement what you've learned when the deal actually shows up. And once I saw this deal work, I knew I could do it again and again and again. That's when it hit me. This isn't a one-time win, it's a repeatable system. And that's exactly what I've done time and again for the past 9 years. If this breakdown helped you and you want to go even deeper, grab a free copy of my book, The Value Add Playbook, How to Grow Your Wealth Fast with Multifamily Investing. Inside the book, I walk you guys through exactly how to find, fund, and operate your multifamily investments using the exact same system that I outlined for you in this video. This book is 100% free. All you got to do is just click the link in the description and I'll send it straight to you. And hey, if you want more no BS breakdowns on how to build wealth with multifamily investing, like this video, drop a comment below and let me know what's your biggest fear on your next or first multifamily deal, and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already done so. I try to release 2 videos a week to help you guys escape the 9-to-5 and own assets that pay for your life. So make sure you ring that notification bell so you don't miss out on another video. Let's go get some free apartment buildings, guys. I'm Paul Macaluso, the Multifamily Renegade, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.